then, warming up. Hello, what's going on, and welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. As always, mate, I do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's been said about Chelsea Football Club from across the internet media, giving you my thoughts on it, my opinions, as always, more importantly, asking for yours. In today's video, Matt Law of The Telegraph pours cold water on the Moises Caicedo situation. We'll find out what's going on there. Team Talk talking, funnily enough, about Enzo Maresca and Juventus. Could the old lady, Juventus, want our Italian manager? Is he starting to gain admirers? Could he be tempted to another super club to leave Chelsea? Ooh. Giovanni Quenda reminds Chelsea fans why we don't need to be signing other wide attackers because he scored a banger for Portugal's under-21s, playing very well this season. And now we'll wriggle into an article on goal.com speaking about how Liam Delap was 90% done to Manchester United. They really wanted to get it over the line, but Chelsea came in and he snubbed them. That's right, to go to the Chelsea to play for the aforementioned Enzo Maresca, who of course he did very well playing at Man City's under-23 level, is it? Anyway, we'll speak about that. We need to talk about Delap a little bit because when someone's injured and they haven't played much, you sort of forget they exist. But Delap was getting people saying, yeah, he's the heir apparent to Harry Kane. 30 million quid. Let's just refresh our memories on him a little bit at the end of the video. So it's gonna be a sweet one. Make yourselves comfortable, pour yourselves a drink, lean back, cozy in. It's autumnal. If you want to support the content, please do like and subscribe. It takes a millisecond of your existence and it does me a favour, so I'll be very grateful should you choose to do that. You can drop your hype points by swiping over the comments and pressing a hype button on your mobile device. Don't know if I think they do have it on web browsers. Web browsers? Jesus, I'm getting old. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting off with this article from Matt Law on The Telegraph, he writes the following. Chelsea have no concern over the future of Moises Caicedo following the player's public sacking of his agent Manuel Sierra. Caicedo, who has been called the best midfielder in the Premier League in recent weeks, announced on social media that he is no longer represented by Sierra and confirmed that Ali Barat, who owns Epic Sports, is not his agent. Telegraph Sport understands that Barat has actually never been Caicedo's agent and has only helped to advise the 23-year-old Ecuador international on his career. Caicedo's initial announcement said that he has now appointed people who he can trust, but this was later deleted to avoid misinterpretation, as it was not aimed at Barat or Epic Sports. We did react to it. How, if you've got a media team, right, you're a footballer who cost 115 million quid, yeah? You got a media team, you know exactly what you're doing. We've appointed people who we can trust. I mean, generally, if a footballer of this profile appoints anyone, it sort of goes without saying, you trust them. So it was absolutely, in my opinion, and deliberately, in my opinion, pointed at these men. So, whatever, clearly they've deleted them. I wonder if legal action's been taken. You're sort of saying that we're untrustworthy. He's since deleted it. I did say it in yesterday's video, it felt needlessly dramatic. I do wonder what happened. Ooh, drama. Anyway, it does seem like Chelsea are calm. Matt Law goes on to write that, he's on a contract till 2031. He is one of the better paid, I suppose, players at Chelsea in terms of the new regime, the new project, the new sporting directors project 2030. Like I said in yesterday's vid, I think he's on 180k a week, which by, high profile Premier League standards isn't insane money. Haaland's on £500,000 a week, do you know what I mean? But it's, in terms of Chelsea's new project, what's Mudryk on 85k a week or something. So he's on very strong wages. He should and will probably get paid more at Chelsea in incremental bonuses as hopefully, touch wood, we begin to win major honours like Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. Right? So hopefully all is good. Actually, if memory serves, we are sort of meant to be negotiating a new contract for Moises Caicedo. Remember that? So since the new guys have come in, they've given updated contracts to Cole Palmer, which is great. We extended him for even longer, and Cole Palmer was on like 75k a week or something at Chelsea, which kind of was fine. We sort of plucked him from Man City's academy / B team, so at the time it would have made sense. But then he exploded. He was like, I'm one of the best players in the world, and we were like, okay, we'll give you a pay rise. Although we only gave him a pay rise to like 120k a week, so he's still not on Moises Caicedo level. But I think Cole's probably on loads of incentivized like goal bonus stuff. And yes, I think Cole Palmer himself will get another pay rise. By the time his Chelsea career is over, I think he would have earned plenty of money out of us, which is good and appropriate and right. But Moises Caicedo, unlike Palmer, and indeed Nico Jackson got a pay rise too. I wonder if we're a bit premature on that. I mean, he has got double digits for non-penalty goals in the Premier League for his 2 seasons, which is strong. It's positive from Nico Jackson. So we did give him a pay rise. I remember Noni Madueke really wanted one. He's on low wages. Well, he was on low wages at Chelsea. I think he was on 50k a week. He's now gone to like 150k a week at Arsenal. So he wanted that pay rise. It never came. I wonder if that was one of the main, driving factors to go to Arsenal, as well as, Steva Willian behind him about to arrive and take his place. But Caicedo reportedly is the next in line for a pay rise. Cucurella got one as well. Chelsea didn't sort of publicly announce a contract extension, but Cucurella himself in like post-match media said, yeah, it's done, I'm grateful. So he just got a pay rise, presumably, which is fine. It's deserved, European champion, Club World Cup champion. They're the favourites to win the World Cup, the Spanish national team. He's the starting left back. He's a senior player. Again, deserves good wages, just like Reece James. I think we spoke about this yesterday. Anyway, everything's sweet with Caicedo. Let's move on. Right, this next article's out on teamtalk.com. A parting of the ways between Chelsea and Enzo Maresca cannot be written off completely, sources have told Team Talk amid interest from Juventus. There have been murmurs of Maresca not being entirely happy at Chelsea because of the London club's failure to satisfy a key transfer demand in the summer of 2025, which we all know is a centre-back. Juventus are now said to have taken a shine to Maresca, with the Italian tactician seen as a serious future candidate to take charge of the City at Giants. This references another article on teamtalk.com by Rob McCarthy. Chelsea on alert as Euro heavyweight targets Enzo Maresca. Lure could be tough to refuse. Yeah, I mean, there is a lure there. Enzo Maresca is an Italian manager. He's from Italy. Juventus are a massive behemoth of an Italian club. It must be enticing for him to go back to his home country and manage a huge club like Juventus that will sign senior players and give them high salaries. It's something we don't do. I'm not sure how much the regime has changed lately at Juventus, like if they're still willing to go out and buy Cristiano Ronaldo and throw the bag at him, but they do buy senior players. They've got amazing young talent like Yildiz as well. So that could be alluring for Enzo Maresca. Now, we know he's hugely ambitious. I say it's a young manager, he's 45, but he's like a new manager, Maresca. And by being hugely ambitious, he wants to test himself at the highest level. What's the highest level? It's the Premier League, yeah? And he knows Chelsea have got a great squad. Even if he's frustrated, and I do believe that, by the way, from certain not getting his centre-back, basically, he does know there's insane amounts of talent in this Chelsea squad. He said it when he arrived, he's in love with the squad. He's reiterated it. Cole Palmer's shown he can still play very well under him. We've had great success with other players. Steva looks like he's going to be an absolute superstar. He's got the opportunity to continue managing him. And of course, he won the Club World Cup, the Conference League with Chelsea. There's success there. There's already trophies. But he will be thinking, I'm pretty good, I'm pretty good. And if you don't sort of abide to my demands a little bit more, I can go to a club in my home country, not just any club, Juventus, a huge club in Italy, and they will buy me this player, a senior player. I'm not sure actually Maresca is doing a Jose Mourinho. Antonio Conte is the best example here, which is interesting because he's of course linked to both Chelsea and Juventus. But Conte demands like seniority players. Like, do you know what I mean? He would want to buy his 30-year-old boys he's managed in previous clubs and just give them high wages and bring them over. I want them, sort of thing. I don't think Maresca's like that. I think Maresca is okay with playing young players, but I think also you need to give them a little, and there needs to be like really a good collaborative relationship. When he joined Chelsea, he knew they'd taken a chance on him. He'd won the championship. This is Chelsea Football Club. You don't win the championship and then get to manage Chelsea. Yes, guys. I know Frank Lampard. He managed Derby, got to a playoff final, and then he was Chelsea manager. That, of course, was a very particular situation. We'd lost 49% of our Premier League goal involvements in Eden Hazard to Real Madrid. We had a transfer ban, so we couldn't replace him. And it's Frank Lampard, so he comes in, he lifts the mood of all the Chelsea fans because it's Frank Lampard. Very specific situation. Generally, you don't win the championship and then get to manage Chelsea as a reward. So Chelsea took a massive chance on him, and he had the opportunity to manage great players, and Chelsea platformed him. I do think he recognises that and would be grateful, but at the same time, just like being a footballer, being a football manager, maybe at, say, 45 when you're running hot, he probably doesn't want to waste time. And if he recognises he's just, slapped up PSG in the Club World Cup final, again, he won the Conference League with Chelsea, it's still something. He got top 4, which is good. He knows he's probably a desired manager now, and like I said, the Italian thing, Juventus, it might be alluring. Still, he's on a 5-year deal, yeah? He's not even halfway through his second year yet, so there'd have to be a big buyout for Juventus. Some Chelsea fans who are not still 100% on board with Maresca, which is totally fine. It's a game of opinions. I think that a lot of them might be channeling their anger at him when really it should be their frustrations might be, stemming from maybe the sporting directors or the sporting project at large, where what I mean is if another guy comes in to replace Maresca, there might be similar problems, and again, maybe blaming the manager would be the incorrect thing to do. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I'm got huge critiques for the sporting project. Generally, I'm pretty pro it. Like, I like a lot of the things they're doing. I do like the low age. I've sort of got sick of the mercenary project in the modern Premier League era. It was great under Roman. But if, just look at Man United the last sort of decade plus, it doesn't always work anymore. And there is this kind of like, right, get young players in without the sort of, I've won it all, just pay me. So they don't have that ego yet. Develop them, give them a low wage, and so you can earn more money if you do well. The incentive-based contracts. I was calling for that well into the Abramovich era. So there's a lot of it I like, but also you don't want the sporting directors to get too, say, big for their boots, egotistical, and start saying no to the manager. Because they're a couple of, young guys too, yeah? The grand scheme of things. They're now you can't have your centre-back. We are the overarching superpower here. You don't want to end up losing what I think is a great manager in Maresca. He goes to Juve, wins a bunch of titles or whatever, and then you're left with your so-and-so in your hand. Do I think there's truth to this? Yeah, probably. Do I think there's danger of him going? No, not at the moment. But I've reacted to the story. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Let's move on. Just a quick one really. Giovanni Quenda scored an absolute golazo for the Portuguese under-21 side. Of course, the 18-year-old has been having an excellent season. We did a little bit of a deep dive. We looked at his stats recently. He's playing well. He's registering assists. He's scoring for his country quite a lot at under-21 level. Of course, he's still only 18. It's only really Estevão who just looks absolutely comfortable in the Brazil side. I think he's the top scorer for Ancelotti's Brazil. Estevão with 3 goals so far. So he's having an absolutely incredible time. But, similarly, Giovanni Quenda. If we're going to, praise Jamie Gittins and Tyreek George for getting goal involvements for the England under-21 side, and they're, 19 and 20 respectively? Or is Gittins 20 or 21? An 18-year-old and Giovanni Quenda scoring at that level and, bangers and being the star of the team is hugely noteworthy and worth keeping an eye on him if you, every now and again can watch his sort of highlights at Sporting or Portugal under-21s, because he does look really exciting. And when we talk about, if certain wingers, wide forwards at Chelsea, the aforementioned, Gittins or Garnacho, or, maybe Neto drops off a little bit, we need to remember that this kid is coming. And, Maresca does trust the youth, provided he's not at Juventus. So, but yeah, basically there could be a solution there. And remember, next summer he's arriving, which is months away now. It's not that long. Time flies very quickly, and it's an exciting prospect, so big up the young lad. Right, let's hop over and do some Liam Delap business on goal.com. Liam Delap was on course to join Man United this summer before the transfer to Old Trafford collapsed. Instead, the former Ipswich striker joined Chelsea, although he has since sustained an injury, of course, that's kept him out in recent weeks. But according to reports, Delap's move to Manchester United was 90% done. He eventually opted to join Manchester United's rivals in Chelsea, where he had since made 3 appearances and of course is yet to score for the new side in the Premier League. Apparently the Chelsea project was more exciting for the England striker. Yeah, funny that. We just qualified for the Champions League, won the Conference League. Little did he know we're about to win the Club World Cup as well with him in the side, which was terribly exciting. So as he's out in America in the sunshine, getting a tan, lifting the Club World Cup, you know, playing for Chelsea, he probably thought, yeah, I made the right decision joining Chelsea and not Man United. And he's probably reflected on that positively since. And you know what? I wanted to talk about this because, you know, we need to not forget about certain players, which is really easy when they've been out for a little while. We've done it with like Lavia and Fofana and Reece James even to a degree. People started thinking, oh, we've got to sell Reece. He comes back in the side, he looks fit again, he looks amazing. It's like, oh yeah, Captain Reece. Delap, similarly, loads of people wanted him. Newcastle were desperate. They did loads of work to try and sign him. And João Pedro, by the way. Ugh. We're not the only team to take 2 of their sort of striker targets. Of course, Liverpool took Ekitike and took Isak off them. And of course, they were trying to sign both Liam Delap and João Pedro, who both ended up at Chelsea. But yeah, apparently 90% done to Man United in the end. They put loads of work into signing Liam Delap. Remember, he only cost 30 million, an absolute bargain. He got 12 goals in the Premier League. I think 10 were non-penalty, so really good for a side that got relegated. Looked incredible. He ripped us apart the 2 times he played us. And of course, he's played under Enzo Maresca before at the, what was it? Is it I think it's under 23s rather than under 21s. I have to double check that. At Man City, scoring over a goal a game at that level. But yeah, he looks absolute mustard, Liam Delap. I did want to remind you about him because lots of people that are profiling him, of course, Ollie Watkins scores loads of goals. Solanke in the Premier League at a high level. We're talking about Aston Villa and Tottenham's senior strikers here. But when talking about the heir apparent to Harry Kane, everyone was like, well, it's going to be Liam Delap, isn't it? Because he's very young, he looks very strong and super capable at operating at Premier League level. I said it recently, I think he makes the Chelsea attackers better. You know, in that 5-1 win against West Ham, he didn't get a goal involvement, but he was so integral to the other players scoring goals, the way he sort of held the ball up, operated, got like a couple of pre-assists. I'm sorry for saying that term again. But yeah, just really important. In the same way, many people would be like, just bring in Mark Yu instead of Tariq George, because he can operate as that strong centre forward that gives defenders something to think about. Delap's got that and so much more. He's also like a pressure release valve. It's not just about occupying defenders. When you are under the cosh and you're being like squished into your defensive third, he literally drags the whole team up with him when he gets the ball on the break. He can hold off 2 or 3 players and really just pull the whole team and the possession and get yardage up the pitch. He's amazing at that. And he is like underrated maybe technically as well. Whether you believe, and I believe, that he should be Chelsea's starting quality striker. Now, if I could snap my fingers and get like an Osimhen who's just scored a hat-trick for Nigeria, yeah, it probably wasn't going to work because of his psychological profile and wage demands, whatever, fine. But I do think we could have a superstar in, you know, the striker position right now. But I can't wait to see Liam Delap back in the side, because when he settles a little bit, when he's crashing the box, when Steval's putting, you know, his cutbacks in, and when he's occupying defenders so João Pedro can start popping off shots again, I think it'll be very exciting. I think he's just what we're missing. And it doesn't surprise me that, you know, it was 90% done at Man United and they had to go in and spend 80 million on Seshko, who doesn't look ready for the Premier League at all, when we've got 30 million striker in Delap, who's very ready for the Premier League. Worth reminding and mentioning. So, that's what I wanted to talk about today, and I've done it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I'll be very happy to have them start the conversation. Thank you for liking this video. It does help me out a lot as a content creator, and if you do find you are returning to the content and you are not yet subscribed, hop aboard and subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell if you choose to. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.